Hey guys, it's Sarah. Welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to share my July monthly wrap-up, I guess is what I'll call it this month. I've been doing these kind of monthly recaps, wrap-ups, whatever you want to call them, for the last several months. Sometimes they're more focused on favorites, sometimes they're just talking about things I've been trying out, things I've bought, that kind of thing. So today I wanted to share the things that I've bought this month as well as a couple of favorites and one thing that was a fail in my opinion, and just kind of recap the month in that sort of way. Talking about products I've been loving, products that are new to my collection, and just makeup-y things that I've been enjoying. So let's go ahead and get started. So July was a crazy month for me. I did a lot of traveling and then I moved in the middle of this past week, so I'm just like in a crazy state of mind right now. Everything around me is chaos, so I just kind of like put my camera down and I was like, okay, I gotta film today, so I'm gonna make it happen. But here we are. So one big thing that happened this month was I went on a little vacation to Canada. I've mentioned that in a couple previous videos. And while I was there, we were only there for 5 days. While I was there, I really did not wear any makeup except for mascara and brows. But one thing that I did wear consistently, and this is a total favorite this month, is the Pacifica Sun and Lipcare SPF 30 Mineral Lip Balm. It says that the shade is nude. It does have a slight nude tint to it, but it's really nothing that shows up on my lips, which I don't mind. I guess it probably kind of like evens out the tone of my lips. Maybe if you have a deeper skin tone, it might potentially look a little bit ashy, but I don't think it has much of a chalky texture. It's really just a light kind of peachy nude tint, so I'm pretty sure it could work for everyone, maybe not so much on deeper skin tones, but I'm really not sure about that. But I didn't feel like it made my lips look like they had a white cast or anything, which was that was kind of what I was wondering about, because anything with SPF, I kind of wonder if it's going to have like a white cast. This really didn't. It also doesn't smell or taste like sunscreen. It actually just has a really sweet kind of caramely, like baked goods kind of scent, and there's really no hint of a sunscreen smell at all. So that was another concern I had with a lip SPF, and I've had a hard time finding one up until now that really satisfied me in terms of not having a strong smell and just looking like a normal lip balm on my lips. So I pretty much wore this throughout the entire vacation. And the other thing that I forgot to mention was that I didn't find that it dried out my lips at all. And that's something that I feel like I've noticed in the past with SPF lip balms. I was concerned that it might dry my lips out, but it didn't. So this is a real winner for me. It says it's water resistant for 80 minutes. Like all Pacifica products, it's 100% vegan and cruelty-free. So I highly recommend this. I think I found it at Target for under $5. They also had an SPF 15 one, I think, but I went for the 30 just because I always want as high of an SPF as I can get. So I'm really pleased with that. I know Pacifica products have been a little bit hit or miss for a lot of people, and for me as well, so I was happy to find a product from them that I really, really like, and I'm pretty sure that I will use this up and then repurchase it later because I've been looking for something like this and I really like it. While we're on the topic of sun protection, I'll go ahead and talk about the product that was mostly a dud for me. This was the Trader Joe's Mineral Sunscreen Stick. It has broad spectrum SPF 50. You've probably seen sunscreen sticks like this. It's almost like a mini deodorant type stick. You twist it up. I bought this at Trader Joe's because it intrigued me. I figured that might be a kind of handy thing to just throw in my purse. So like if I'm driving or something, I can just kind of swipe it on my arms and my hands. And then I decided to take it to Canada with us because I figured it would be nice to have like a solid product. That way we wouldn't have to worry about it being in a liquids bag. So I brought it with us, and I don't like this. It does do its job. I wore it one day and then my mom wore it, and I don't think we really got sunburned while we wore it, so there's that. I guess it did its job. But it's so sticky and goopy and white, and just, it like just sits on top of the skin. It's so goopy. I don't even want to finish it up. I think my mom's gonna finish it because she's more of a trooper than I am when it comes to this kind of thing, but it's a nice concept. I know there are other brands that make these kinds of products, so I might be curious to try more from different brands, but I just really do not enjoy the experience of wearing this. I find it very unpleasant, so I would not recommend that one. But that's the only like fail or dud that I have this month, so that's good. So since I just talked about my Canada trip, I wanted to mention 2 things that I bought while in Canada. These aren't necessarily favorites because I just bought them like a few days ago and I haven't really used them much, but I decided we found a store in Old Quebec that I think it was called, it had the word beauty in the title in French, but it was basically like a drugstore, but it was mostly focused on beauty. So it almost reminded me of Ulta, but it had other things too that were not beauty related, like regular stuff that you'd find at a drugstore. So, but I went in there because I was looking for this brand. You guys recommended Marcelle. It's a Canadian company, and then also Annabelle. I was able to find both. I decided to go with Marcelle simply because they are Logical Harmony certified, and I try to stick to brands that are Logical Harmony certified. And one of my subscribers commented and said that they had good like lip products and complexion products. So I didn't want to buy a ton because all I packed was a backpack and I didn't have a lot of room to carry stuff home with me, but I wanted to pick up just a little like souvenir, especially because I don't think you can get this brand in the US, but this is the Marcelle Luxe Gloss in the shade Starlet. I'm wearing it today, and it's really like a frosty pink, like mauve-y pink. Not necessarily a color that I would have normally gone for, but I thought, I'm trying to get more into lip gloss. I don't think I'm ever going to be like a lip gloss connoisseur, but I only own one other lip gloss, and so I thought I would get something that's completely different from the one I already own. It's like a really opaque, shimmery mauve, and so I'm wearing it today. I realized I don't have any like metallic lip products at all, so I thought it would be nice to kind of try one out just for fun. So that's the one I got from Marcelle. I'm only wearing it for the first time today, so I can't like fully review it, but I will say I do like it. It doesn't feel too sticky, but it has enough cling to kind of stay on the lips, and I think it looks kind of pretty. So that was fun. And then while I was at that store, I did stumble across their little NYX display, and I found the NYX Micro Brow Pencil, which I'd had my eye on for a while. Honestly, it would have been smarter to wait until I was back in the States to buy it at Ulta so I could use a coupon on it and it would have been cheaper, but I was like, you know what, I think I just want to get it now while I'm here. And it was like towards the end of the trip and I wanted to get rid of the Canadian money that I had left. Not that I had that much, I had like $25 left, so I was like, well, I might as well spend it. So anyway, I did go ahead and get the NYX Micro Brow in the shade Taupe because I've heard that this is a really good dupe for the ABH Brow Wiz, which I really love. So I am wearing this on my brows today. I've worn it a couple times as well. I really want to test it side by side with the ABH. I may even do a video like, is it a dupe? I'm sure lots of people have done that with those two products because they've been talked about as dupes for a while, but I don't know, would you be interested in seeing that? But I will definitely report back. I do like it. I think I like the tone of it too, so like I don't feel like it pulls too warm. I'm still testing it out though, so don't take this as a full review, but I am happy to finally have my hands on this. So I do have a couple of like favorites, but I'm going to save those for the end because I want to finish up talking about the products that I have purchased this month, which is not a lot, but I just want to like get those out of the way so you kind of know what's on my radar, what I'm going to be testing out, etc. So one thing, I actually didn't buy this month. I bought it a couple months ago, but I didn't open it until just the other day because I was finishing up my other mascara. But it's the Balm Mad Lash Black Mascara. Go to crazy lengths, it says. This I bought on sale on HauteLook. I think it was under $10 on there. It's probably like $9 something. And so I kind of have a rule that I don't spend more than $10 on mascara simply because it goes bad so quickly. So I went for this one because I'd heard really good things about it. I've used it for the past couple of days and I really like it so far. I don't want to speak too soon because you never know, like maybe it'll, you know, make my eye get swollen shut or something, like, I don't know, who knows what could happen, but so far I really like it a lot. That's all I'm gonna say right now. But I will report back and I'm sure you'll be hearing more about my thoughts on it once I've really thoroughly tested it out over a longer period of time. Another thing I purchased was the Norvina palette. I know. Hey, I just noticed the label on the back of this one is different than the other palettes that I have from them. It's like smaller, and that's interesting. It doesn't have the list of ingredients on there. I mean, I'm sure you can easily find the list of ingredients online. It's not like they're hiding anything from us, but that's cool. So anyway, there it is. I'm sure you've already seen plenty of videos on this from people who got it in PR. Mine just came in the mail yesterday, even though I ordered it the day that it launched, which is like unheard of for me. I've never done that before, where I bought a product the day it launched, but I just knew I wanted it, so I got it. The reason being, I don't have a lot of purples and pinks in my collection, and I like the color selection, so there you go. And I always love the formula of ABH shadows. I just used it for the first time today. I don't know if I'm in love with the look that I created. I did kind of a weird, I'll tell you what I did. I started with incense in the crease, which is kind of this warm brown, and then I ended up mixing some of Soul in the crease, which is like the cool periwinkle kind of color. I actually expected that to be a little bit brighter when I saw it swatched online and stuff, but I mixed like a cool and a warm in the crease, and so it created this weird effect. I don't know what I was thinking when I did that, but that's what happened to my crease. And then I did Dazzling all over the lid, which is this gorgeous like cross between a rose gold and like a taupe. It's interesting. And that definitely is a chunky kind of glitter. Beautiful going on the lid. I mean, you can even apply it with just a brush and it goes on super opaquely. Like, you don't have to use a finger, you don't have to wet it. But I did get some fallout with it, so I probably just need to be more careful. But I did Dazzling pretty much all over the lid. What else did I do? I did Dreamer in the inner corner, which is beautiful. I mean, that's like a multi-dimensional, like champagne goldeny rose. It's really pretty. I did base just on the brow bone, and on the lower lash line I just smudged Soul again. And then I did a little bit of Wild Child. This is something I've been doing a lot lately. I did a little bit of Wild Child kind of in between where I applied Soul, which is like a little bit of a more smoky color, and my inner corner highlight. I just kind of did it in between there, so like the inner third of my lower lash line, just smudging that pretty like shimmery colorful shade. I don't know if you can even really tell, but I've been doing that a lot lately, where I take either just like really any kind of shade that's a little bit lighter and more colorful, or just shimmery, and putting it right there. It really, I don't know, I think it's pretty. So that's what I did today. I'm going to be playing with this a lot more. I will say that so far I do like the formula. I feel like it's pretty on par with the Soft Glam and the Modern Renaissance. So I know everyone's already said that in their reviews, but I'm gonna keep playing with it, and I plan to do like a 3 looks 1 palette with it. I've never done a video like that before, and I know everyone else is also reviewing it, and I feel like, do you guys really want to hear my thoughts on it too? Because I don't know, I mean, there's already so many other reviews out there already, and I just got it, so I still have to test it out for like a few weeks before I can share my review, because I'm not going to review it like within a few days of getting it. I just don't feel right about that. So let me know if you'd like to see a 3 looks 1 palette, or if you just want me to flat out review it and not show you the looks with it. I don't know, like if you have any suggestions for how I should go about talking about it, let me know. But for now, I plan on just doing like a 3 looks 1 palette / review, probably at the end of the month, or at some point once I feel like I've used it a ton. So now we're down to the true favorites of the month. One thing that was a favorite, not necessarily a product favorite, but a favorite just like makeup application method or makeup technique, was I kind of rediscovered powder foundations. So since it's been so hot and my skin has been a little bit more on the oily side, I've really gotten back into powder foundation. Not that I was ever really that into it to begin with, because I feel like no one on YouTube really talks about powder foundation in a sense of just using it as their standalone foundation. It seems like most people who use powder foundation on YouTube just use it as a powder to amp up the coverage of their foundation. Does that make sense? But this month, so I'm testing out some products from Brooke Cosmetics, and one of the products that I'm testing out from them is the Pressed Foundation, which is just a powder foundation. So this is what got me back into using powder foundations. And then I remembered my Milani Conceal and Perfect Shine Proof Powder. It's not defined as a powder foundation, but it really basically is. I mean, it's a powder with a decent level of coverage. So I've been using both of these kind of interchangeably this month. But what I've been doing is just applying my SPF, as always, and then applying my concealer, mostly just on the under eyes, and then if I have any other areas of my face that I want to conceal, like some blemishes or something, then I'll do that, and then I just go over it with a powder foundation, and I feel like it evens out my skin tone. I don't really feel like it breaks down or just like completely wears off of my face throughout the day either. Maybe it has to do with just my level of activity. Although I've done that on some days where I was pretty active, like I went to the gym and stuff, and I didn't feel like when I was done, my face, like I still felt like my skin was pretty evened out looking. So I really like that. I feel like more people need to get back into powder foundation because it's a lot lighter than any sort of, it feels a lot lighter on your skin than any sort of liquid foundation or even a tinted moisturizer. Now, you guys know I love tinted moisturizer, but I think that tinted moisturizer and BB creams and that sort of thing is going to become like my winter light coverage makeup, and then my summer light coverage makeup, I'm going to stick to powder foundations for the most part. I'm still going to use my tinted moisturizers and stuff, but just because my skin is more oily, so it makes sense to use more of a powdery type product when it's more oily, and then in the winter my skin is more dry, and so something more moisturizing like a tinted moisturizer or BB cream makes more sense that time of year. So that was just kind of like another discovery or rediscovery, because I mean everyone knows powder foundation exists, but I feel like more people need to use it because it doesn't really get talked about that much on YouTube. So just wanted to share that. Last two favorites, this video is getting long. Last two favorites, I have one brush favorite. This is the Ulta Beauty Blush Brush. I got this in a little free gift with purchase little bundle. I think it was back in the spring. I bought a couple of Ulta Beauty items and I think it added up to like $20, and so I guess they were doing a special deal where you'd get a gift with purchase, which was just like a pouch of a bunch of Ulta Beauty brand products, along with that any like purchase of $20 or more. So one of those things that was in that bag was the blush brush. I'm so glad this was in there because I never would have thought to try this otherwise. I mean, I have a blush brush from EcoTools that I like well enough, so there was no reason for me to go out and buy another blush brush. But I like this one even better than the EcoTools one. The EcoTools one I have is their Precision Blush Brush, and it is a little bit on the, I mean, it's like a standard size and shape blush brush. It's pretty precise. So what I like about this one is that the bristles are a little bit longer, and they're just they have a little bit more flexibility to them. So when I apply blush, I think it just blends it out more easily and more evenly, and I get a little bit more of a diffused look. So this is my new favorite blush brush. I think it's around $8, which honestly is kind of a lot for what you're getting because it has a pretty cheap feeling handle. I mean, it's very lightweight, it's like plastic, but I haven't noticed any shedding with it. The brush itself is really nice. I think it's a little bit cheap feeling, like I don't know how long this is going to hold up, so I do feel like the $8, if I'm not mistaken about that price, is a little bit much, but at the same time, Ulta Beauty brand products are almost always on sale for buy one get one half off, or you know, buy this get a free gift with purchase, all that stuff. So you know, I really don't think you should ever pay full price for their products because they are a little bit expensive, even though they're technically in the drugstore section of the store. They're a little bit more on the pricey side of drugstore. So, but I did want to throw that out there because it has quickly become my favorite blush brush. I don't think there's anything really that special about it, but I'm glad that I got to try it because I really like it. The last favorite, and this is just something that I've been using a lot this month, so I felt like I should include it as a favorite because I do really like it, and it's the Milani Bold Obsessions palette. It's been out for a while. It's been out since probably earlier this year. It's just a nice neutral palette. Did I really need another neutral palette? not really, but I saw it. It was, I think the actual retail price of this is $20, but at Walmart it's only $15. So if you can find one at Walmart that people haven't like jabbed their fingers into, then you should go for it there, because I think it is really nice. I would honestly pay $20 for it, so I think $15 is a steal. But, you know, even though Milani is a drugstore brand, these, I mean, I know everyone's been saying this about these, but these do really feel nice. There are some shades that I'm not super impressed with, namely these two right here. This like cool taupe and then the cool kind of bluish gunmetal shade. That one, I feel like the gunmetal shade, it's one of those shadows that has like a black base, so it just shows up kind of muddy and black. But other than like that one shade, and then this one just feels a little bit dry to me. It's nice. I mean, it's fine though. It goes fine on the eyes. But I mean, those two, with the exception of those two, I really like this palette. You get I would describe it as you get one row of neutrals, one row of warms, and then one row of cools. So you're getting a nice variety. It's not like all warm. I took this with me to a conference that I went to at the beginning of the month, and it was the only palette I brought with me, and I felt like it had everything I needed for like a business appropriate type of look. But if I wanted to get a little bit more dressed up at night, I could do like a nice little smoky eye situation. So I'm a big fan of this palette. I think that if you already have a lot of palettes, especially if you already have a lot of neutral palettes, don't get it. You don't need it. But if you are just starting to build up your palette collection, I think this is a really nice, like, basic starter palette that has a nice variety to it. So I'm a fan, with the exception of those two shades that I wasn't super impressed with. So that was my July recap. It was kind of all over the place because I wanted to share things that have come into my collection as well as some favorites. So I hope it was helpful and enjoyable, just to kind of get you guys up to speed on what's been going on in my makeup life. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.